Caucus meeting for March 22nd, 2023. Notice that this meeting has been duly advertised in compliance with the provision of the Open Public Meeting Law. Please be advised that this meeting is being audio recorded with possible later playback. Everyone, please rise to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hess? Here. Councilman Lankowski?
Here.
Councilman Morrison?
Here.
Councilwoman Patton?
Here.
Councilwoman Sinnet? Here. President Randolph Sharp?
Yes.
Mayor?
Here. First reading, ordinance 2023-5. Over. Council.
This is to increase the 2023 budget, led to 3.5% over previous year's final appropriations.
Entertain a motion, please.
I make a motion for ordinance first reading on ordinance number 2023-5, COLA, to be adopted as read on first reading, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall for the second reading, being held at our next regular scheduled meeting.
And second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess? Yes. Councilman Lankowski?
Yes.
Councilman Morrison?
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnet? Yes. President Randolph Sharp?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, next, consent agenda, as looked below, considered routine by the Borough of Lindenwold, and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no formal discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Entertain a motion for resolution 2023-96 through 99.
Make a motion for resolution consent agenda items 2023-96 through 99.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess? Yes. Councilman Lankowski?
Yes.
Councilman Morrison?
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnet? Yes. President Randolph Sharp?
Yes.
And add on resolution of 2023-100, council.
Authorizing the borough to participate in the opioid class action settlement.
Entertain a motion, please.
I make a move for resolution item 2023-100.
And a second, please.
Second.
Questions? Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess? Yes. Councilman Lankowski?
Yes.
Councilman Morrison?
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnet? Yes. President Randolph Sharp?
Yes.
All right, we have a presentation that our council president would like to
Yes.
do before we open to the public.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. As some of you know, I am employed at the Camden County Clerk's Office, and we have something new that I wanted to share. I think it's going to be important to the residents of Camden County. That's where we want to be. This is our door. Just go up a little bit, up to the top, just a little bit. Is that all the way up? Yeah. So this is our CamdenCounty.com/clerk page. This is what it would look like when you get to the page. If you go to, right there, thank you. If you go right here to that page, you're going to do the drop-down arrow that says Registry Division. Right, just click on that, the Registry Division. And then you're going to go down to where it says Property Alert System. This is a new system. Not all the counties in New Jersey are implementing this, but a great majority have. This is a system. It does not guarantee against fraud, but it is a fraud alert system. You would go onto the site. This is Joe Ripper, that's my boss. If you go down, you would click to where it says, please register, right there. Getting started. You would put your information in, your email address in, your address, your lot and block information. What will happen is every time there's some type of transaction that involves your property through our office, you'll receive an email. It may be on, I don't know, a different assignment of your mortgage. It could be on a tax lien. It could be on different things. But all it does is alert you that something has been recorded in our office that involves your property. If you are not aware what this document is or don't have any knowledge of what it is, you would get a copy of the document from our office, and then you would need to contact either the prosecutor's office or your attorney's office to let them know of a possible fraud. There are a lot of people that have changed people's deeds, came in and did a quick claim deed on someone's property, even though there's a notary and everything else, but this involves everybody working in cahoots with each other in order to make this happen, and especially older people are taking advantage of this way. So if you could go in, you can go in there, you can register, you'll find out every time something is recorded in our office on your property. And for many people, I don't know if you know, that the clerk's office is a recordation department where we record deeds, mortgages, liens, so on and so forth. It goes back from 1895. We have the old books where they were all handwritten deeds and everything like that, up to our new system. And all of this is available. New Jersey is you can go in and you don't have to show any ID. You just ask for a copy of the deed, you give the last name, and you can purchase a copy of the deed. So I highly recommend you using this, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. It's just another layer of being alerted. It does not protect against fraud. It alerts you that something is going on with your property that you might be aware of it. You go, oh, well, that's the refinance that I did. That might be okay. But if you see something else come up and you don't have any idea what it's about, you might want to get a copy of whatever it is that they're showing and then take that to the police department or the prosecutor's office and or an attorney. So, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, this time we're going to open meetings to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Remember, we will answer your questions at the end.
Hi, good evening. My name is Roxanne Berger, and I'm at 811 Myrtle Avenue. As a citizen of Lindenwold, I'm very passionate about how our town is viewed. I grew up on Chatham Drive and Walnut. My grandmother owned the land off of Washington Avenue. I have deep roots in this town. Last month, I got the pleasure of hearing Helen Harrison being honored. Our families grew up together. No matter how bad the reputation is that is over Lindenwold, I am very proud to live here. We have made much progress. The housing situation located on Gisborough is now under reconstruction. Even though this acquisition of change has been slow. I sit here listening to the horror stories and wonder how good citizens are suffering under such conditions. I realize that it is a work in progress. I want a sense of community to return to Lindenwold. I went to Lindenwold Elementary School. I went here to junior high, that's now middle school. And I went to Overbrook, that is now Pine Hill High School. I would like the Borough Council. I don't understand this. I just started coming, and the animosity between the borough and the people is disheartening. It really is. In order to get things done, we need to work together. Communities consist of community centers, garden, beautification efforts that can unify the people of Lindenwold. I've attended several meetings over the last few years, and I'm just puzzled about one question, our so-called community center, and why it's not open to the public. The Borough Council's task is to look out for the health and welfare of its citizens. Measures are enacted to provide a safe environment so that the citizens of Lindenwold can live their lives. As a nurse, I am interested in the quality of life of the people of Lindenwold and promoting the health and wellness of the people through screening, prevention, and lifestyle modifications. In 2022, the Department of Environmental Protection, the Department of Health, and the New Jersey Environmental Public Health Tracking conducted a survey of the counties and communities in New Jersey. The report, called the Healthy Community Planning Report, is a snapshot of each community's health and environmental data. It entails details about the air, soil, and water quality. Health issues such as heart attack, asthma, COPD, and cancer were evaluated. As I dissected the data, Several healthcare metrics were worse when compared to the state in Lindenwold. Cancer deaths, lung cancer deaths, smoking, obesity, and uninsured are several of our problems. All cancer death statistics in New Jersey are 182.1 per 100,000 people versus the state of 144.6. Lung cancer deaths in Lindenwold are 58.2 per 100,000 versus 31.9 in the state. 22% of our citizens smoke versus 15.4 in the state. Uninsured in Lindenwold are 15.1 versus 7.6 in the state, double the rate of the state. The health needs of the community are compounded by health disparities in a community that is underserved. Healthcare disparities in lung cancer and other cancers are well documented among minorities. The New Jersey Seed Department, the Cancer Education and Early Detection, offers screening programs through the state. The Camden County Cancer Screening Program and MD Anderson Cancer Center offer such services. One of the barriers to delivery of care has to do with the lack of transportation, which is noted in the Rutgers Health Assessment of 2021. It has been documented that access locally to healthcare screenings decreases the barriers to getting screened. As a community that has dire healthcare statistics compared to the state, it is imperative that we bring education and screening to the community. We have an opportunity to improve the health outcomes of our community. The community center will be a prime location to offer health events to the citizens of Lindenwold. Could someone please explain to me the necessity of limiting access to the community center, especially since this facility can be a resource that could improve the lives, health, and welfare being of those citizens, well, I can't even read my own handwriting, of those citizens who live here. But unfortunately, the community center is not being used for the people it was intended to, and they are being denied access. My question is why? Second, really quickly, the motion 2023-5, I just want to know how that will affect my taxes, the increase in the budget. Thank you.
Anyone else from public wishing to speak?
Wanda Randolph, 71 Madison Avenue. First, I just want to say, I just want to give a big kudos to Lindenwold Police Department and the Fire Department. They've been very responsive to coming to my buildings. I'm the property manager for Lindenwold Towers, who's doing great presentation, so I really want to give them a great thank you. The two questions I do have. One, I know on my street, we don't have a lot of lighting, so I wasn't sure. Should I contact Atlantic Electric first, or is it something that I would do through Public Works first? And then the other is, I don't know, just happened to be driving by and I just noticed like a lot of trees, I've been cutting trees in my yard, but trees that have been falling, or branches that have been like coming across different roads, Berlin Road and Harbor Road. So is that something that could be a community project, or is it something that the borough handles or the county handles?
Anyone else from public wishing to speak?
Hello. My name is Muriel White, and I'm not a house owner. I'm a renter of an apartment complex down the street from Lindenwold. And I'm concerned about the inspection of our complex. They are raising our rents over there now $300 to $400 at one stamp. But there's a lot of issues that people are complaining about over there. One of the issues that I have complained about was if you go down Oak Street on Gibbs Mill Road, there is a corner house there. Now, I've called this department, I would say 3 times in 3 years just to clean that corner up. They just made a street there. They put concrete down the road there where Las Cascadas. Yeah. Right across the street from there is wood, is the house behind it. That trash has been there since summer. It is disgusting and disgraceful. We have children there now that live more, I've been there 7 years going on, this is my 8th year going on now. And we have a lot of children over there now. It's very dangerous for these children because last year they found sofas, hypodermic needles. I mean, we have drug addicts there. Summer's getting ready to come. And it's very unsafe in that area. I called here last month. The same trash can that is sitting there now has been there since I called, and before that, since the summer. There is a wire that's coming from a telephone pole to that corner. The reason I called is because grass grows right on the corner of Oak Street and Gibbsboro Road. On the left-hand side, the grass had grown this high, and I had to complain about it so many times because we all know 2 ways back and forth on Gibbsboro Road, and 2 lanes rather. So if you're trying to come out to make a left, you can't even see what's coming up the hill. It's very dangerous in that spot. Also, I don't know who to contact in reference because you can't call the owners of the property at the landings. The fence that is around the lake, we have children. That fence needs to be taken down and put a real fence there. Because patching up with crazy glue is not going to do it. It's down every 3 months. The kids pull on it. I watch it. They pull on it. I have called the office. They fix it. A few months later, it's open again. That's a lake. Kids can drown in that lake. Grown people can drown in that lake. Very dangerous, but it passes inspection every time. This is people probably, and like I said, they're raising our rent $300 and $400 more. My apartment itself, it's sinking. I just found out we're on the top of the lake. I thought the lake started there, but no, I could stand here and see my ceiling in my living room going down. The upkeep of the property might look good on the outside to you guys, but it's not good on the inside. The inspectors do not go outside on our porch to see what we have on the porch. Look out the door, but won't go out. There could be a hole out there, the screens that are hanging out of the balcony. How about if a child gets up there and falls out the window or falls off the balcony? I know it's not you guys' responsibility, but it is your responsibility to inspect those things. Because of the danger, it looks good, but everything that looks good is not good. Looks good on the outside, but what's going on in the inside? It really needs really good inspection. And I have a problem with that. I don't know if you guys can help me. I've called a few times, but the inspection is not working. Another thing, there's where that grass, I'm telling you, is growing and across from Las Cascadas. There is our apartments. I don't know if they stopped there or not. There's a fence there. There's a creek back there. And the fence is broke. It's been broke for years. And nobody's walking those grounds to see what needs to be done and what not. And if you call a lawyer, you gotta pay for it if you want service. So I'm coming to you as just one tenant because a lot of people work in this time of day and they're not coming off, but I want a second floor, I pay a lot of money for the apartment. I'm a retiree, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do next year, but if I can't stay here, please help us make it better for the next people that move in, because it's not working. It's all fake. You really have to, you really have to do some inspection. I've been here 7 years. Ask me when is the first time I've ever had my fireplace inspected. Never. no one has ever checked the fireplaces. So this type, how do we pass inspection? I don't understand that. If you can't even, you can't fireplaces and they've never been checked. You know, we have gang wars in our parking lot. Last summer, summer before last, people coming from Philadelphia, fighting in our parking lot. Policemen come, they talk to them, they leave, right back again. I called the police department 3 times, the same day, the last time they came. I don't know if this was last summer, I think it was last summer, summer before. But everything that looks good is not good. That lake, to me, is a beautiful lake, it's a very nice lake, but it's not safe if it's not safe for children. I don't have grandkids, but I watch kids and little boys run around. They get inside of the fence. Every year, every summer, every winter, they're inside of that fence. They rock it back and forth, over the corner, and it breaks. And that's very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Anyone
much.
else in the public wishing to speak?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Did I speak to you before?
I don't know.
Muriel White?
Yeah.
Yep. You
I
know
think it was
who I am.
me.
You know, I know.
It was not.
It's really bad, I'm serious. And they're raising rent, and it's crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
Diane Terry, 637 Fifth Avenue. Cheryl, last week when the poor woman was complaining and crying about how she's living in the apartments, your response to her was you were out there, no, I don't want anybody to touch it. Yeah. Your response was you were out there on Good Friday. Well, that was a year. So for a whole year, no one did anything to help the residents? I mean, she comes here every month and complains. So I don't understand why. Just like this poor lady's complaining about the living conditions. I don't understand like what's going on. Linda, 8 out of 10 times, you forget your notes. You know we only have one meeting a month. You look on your phone and you forget what you're even looking at and saying. Like, I don't understand. Like, why is it you can't do anything for the residents? Like, help us. Like, now this lady's talking about all the problems that you're talking about a website, but I'll get a violation, a fake violation, because an insider tells somebody to give me a violation. But people who really need violations, you guys don't do anything to help them. And Dave, this is who you need to apologize to, because this is who you thought bit me.
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, closing.
I'll be quick, guys, I promise. 2 quick things. One, dog park, amazing job to our public works department. I don't know if you guys have been out there yet, I can't see it, but it's a beautiful dog park. It's a beautiful park to begin with, but it's a great amenity. They did a fantastic job in terms of the planning and the facilities, letting in and out, the waste bags and all that type of stuff. And then I want to follow up on the idea of this, the media team. Look, we're not trying to bust your chops about not having municipal Facebook pages and the other 10 communication tools that all the surrounding towns use, but Com 101, guys, is that when you don't fill the communication vacuum by putting out news, like for example, the Public Works Department sent out some events that are going on this year, but nothing's come out of the borough website, nothing's posted on the borough website about it. The dog park opening, nothing on the borough website. The events you outlined at the library still aren't up on any sort of place where people can find them. The reality is, folks, that when you don't fill that communication vacuum with the positivity that you guys are creating, and I know you're creating lots of positive things in town, but when you don't fill that vacuum, what winds up happening is your police blotter does all the communicating for you. And the walkaway message for people not in Lindenwold, and even the people living here, is that this is the place to come to get robbed, shot, or run over. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but that's reality. If you don't live in Lindenwold and you read the headlines of what goes on in Lindenwold, that's the message you get. So when you guys aren't championing our town with proactive messaging of what it is you're doing. You're rebuilding Cooper Avenue, you're putting up a dog park, you're putting lights and period side lighting on Berlin Road. Like I said, there's lots of great stuff, but when you don't communicate that to us, your police blotter unfortunately does all the talking for us, and it hurts us over and over again. So I guess the question would be, are you guys under some sort of gag order that prevents you from having municipal Facebook pages? I mean, you roll your eyes again, Cheryl, but reality is
that
this
because
is common sense. Common sense. Like every town around us, they have municipal Facebook pages. They use Nextdoor. They use Nixle service. I could go on and on. Streaming meetings. I mean, I went through a whole list of 10 things that the other towns use. You guys don't use any of them. If it's not a gag order and if it's not laziness, what is it? Thank you.
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
Just a quick 30 seconds. That interaction is what I was talking about unity. There is no unity here, and it's sad. It's sad. When he got, as a citizen of Lindenwold, I don't like to point fingers, but the body language that I saw displayed up there, the snickering from here, it's awful. I pay taxes. I pay a lot of taxes for my little townhouse.
Me too, 25 years.
23 for me. I pay a lot of taxes. 35. Can we agree to at least try to get some things done without all of this mess? Because it's a bunch of mess. And if we want to do the right thing, this discord has got to stop. I'm about doing the right thing. God is about doing the right thing. I'm sorry if there's some atheists here, because I'm a God-fearing woman. And this discord is a hot mess.
Agreed.
All right, anyone else from the public wishing to speak before we open the council? All right, close the meeting to the public and entertain a motion to open the council, please.
So moved.
And second? All in favor? Anyone from council wishing to answer their questions, please do so now.
The listeners, I forgot your first.
Roxanne.
Ms. Roxanne, thank you, because you're absolutely right. And the level of communication has to come up, the accusatory language and all of that. I mean, we're all human. It's only so much of that that you can take. I'm all for working together, building bridges. There's room at the table for everyone. Community leaders, government, civic leaders, faith leaders, everyone has to be part of the community. It's not just up to the governing body. So I thank you for what you said. I appreciate it, because it is, sometimes it's very difficult. In terms of Mrs. Porter, me and Mrs. Porter are very good friends, Diane. When I said I went out there last year, that's when I did a almost 2-hour ride around her entire complex with her. Met everybody that she wanted to meet. Mrs. Porter, Miss Bernice, and there's another gentleman that calls from there, call us. They're very friendly with us. Text, call, whatever they need to do. I took loads of pictures when I was out there. We're in communication with Mr. Wolf constantly about the complaints that we receive, him addressing what they are. Most of the time, he's timely in what he needs to do. If someone's stove is out, the refrigerator is down, something like that. So Mrs. Porter is not a one and done. I'm in communications with her quite often. I'm in the midst of trying to work something out with her right now on something that she needs for her life. So she is not forgotten, and no stretch of the imagination. She's like an auntie to me. So, no, she's not forgotten. And when I was talking about Good Friday, that was the day that I was out there going around, her showing me everything that she wanted to show me in the development. So that's what's going on with her. Ms. Muriel,
Yes.
I'm going to give you my card. I'm a liaison for the Code Enforcement Office. I just took over in January.
Okay, well, you
I
got a
am
lot of work.
planning to take a ride out to your development tomorrow when I get off of work. I want to check out this fence that you're talking about. Also, I wanted to make you aware that there are 2 types of inspections that are conducted on the state, right? So when three types of inspections. So on the year that they're inspected, the 5-year inspection, we don't go out there that year. The state supersedes our inspection. I will talk to Wayne about the things that you brought up about the apartment fireplaces and going out on the porches.
Yeah.
Doing
Maybe
an
I can
inspection.
help you a little with the inspection process.
I'm sorry.
The first inspection that we do is the rental registration inspection. That is a life safety issue.
That is when they,
That is just a basic, we walk in, they check smoke detectors, they check outlets to make sure that they're certified. It's not a major inspection that they do by any means. It's just to make sure that the apartment is life safety safe.
okay,
Hang on one second. There's a CO inspection that is done, which is the inspection that you are requiring. That's done before somebody moves into an apartment. What that does is does all of the things like the fireplace, the selling, the property, the balconies, things like that are all done during the CO inspection.
CO inspection?
Yes, it's an occupancy inspection. Once you move or somebody moves in, that's when that's done.
And
Or
then
the building's sold, they're done during that time as well.
Do they do every apartment? Because I've been there.
Only if the property's sold.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The property has been sold. That property's been sold since I've been there, I think twice
Well,
already.
and as the attorney just said, if there is an issue,
Yeah.
you can request the code enforcement to come out and inspect the property. And that's what the council president is going to do. She's
Okay.
going to make sure that they send out somebody to come out to your apartment and re-inspect your apartment.
Wait, can I say one thing?
Yes.
If they come out and inspect it before, when people move in, before they move in,
Yes.
okay? I just have tenants that just moved across the street, across the hall from me. And when the inspector guys came there the other day, I was showing them the problems that I'm having where my living room ceiling is doing one of these numbers. The building is slanted.
Do you know what inspector it was?
Yeah, they were young guys. They were
Brian,
Haynes,
Tyler,
Haynes people,
Wayne?
people.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know.
One was, what is his name?
Mark, Brian, or Tyler?
No, these are two young guys.
They're all kind of young.
No, everybody's younger than me.
Right.
No, they're like, I guess in their 20s maybe, or their
That's
30s.
Tyler, our cousin Tyler, yeah.
Yeah, Tyler, that was it. That was
Well,
it. Tyler and another.
After the meeting, can you just hang tight a little bit? I just want to get some information from you on your apartment number, the one you talked about across the hall, and also the corner property, we're going to talk about that too. So I want to give you my
Because I'm
information.
telling you, these ceilings are still bubble.
Okay, all right,
If they're inspecting them before people move in, that was my
Yeah.
question.
yeah.
If they're being inspected before people move in, how come the people that just moved in across the hall, they know the stairs when they moved in?
We'll talk about it, and I'll get you the answers for it.
And the third inspection is a 5-year state inspection. That's where the state comes down and does their inspection. Okay?
Yeah, and then the other thing was, and I can assure you, Trevor, that there's no gag order in place. I don't really even know what that means, but there's no gag order in place, and it's a little insulting that you would say that, and that's why I reacted the way that we did.
What other reason do you have, ladies and gentlemen?
Right, well, I don't know what else, again, you know, there's no gag order in place. So, and I just looked on, there's an event coming up in April on the website, on the calendar, the Spring Fling. Does that start at 3:30? At 3:30, and that is an Easter egg hunt for the young people, right? Right. So we are putting the information on the calendar. It is available. Can we do a better job? I said that before. Absolutely, we can, and we're meeting about that. Well, no, nothing's perfect, you know, but no one is trying to. Why wouldn't we want to advertise about the good things that are going on in town? The funny thing is, you know, you're saying the police blotters are advertisement, but I spend a lot of time out and about in this town, running into people at the park and different places, and they all have very nice things to say about this community. They all say, excuse me, Trevor, let me say what I have to say, please. I was at the park the other day, Lindenwold Park, ran into 4 or 5 people over there, did not know them, just got into a conversation with them. They didn't know who I was initially. We were just talking. One dog was named Oreo, beautiful coloring. We were talking about him. We started talking, and they had nothing but nice things to say about living in this community. Nothing but nice things to say. How quiet it is, how safe they feel. Nothing but nice things to say. So, you know, I know Lindenwold had an old rep back in the day, but I feel like we're overcoming that reputation. We're trying to invest. There's lovely people that live here, that have lived here for years. I've been in my house for over 30 years. My neighbors, I got neighbors that lived there, their generational properties, 70 years. The grandfather lived there before them. So, you know, we have something that most towns don't have. We have, and I won't even talk about how beautiful it is with the lakes and everything else. You're right, maybe we should do a better job in advertising, but I don't think everybody in the town is walking around saying, oh my God, Lindenwold sucks.
Well,
That is not the impression that I get from people when I speak to them, in the supermarket, at CVS, wherever I go, in the park. I'm a people person, I talk to everybody, and my aunt and my sister will tell you that. I will talk, I can get on the train, and by the time I'm off, I know everybody on the train. That's just who I am. And am I lying, I'm Betty, Ms. Carmen, Tawanda? No. So I talk to people all the time, and they have nothing but great things to say about this town. So, you know, thank you, Aunt Betty. She said she seconds that.
All right, as far as the trees,
Yes.
the county roads, they're responsible by the county, but what we'll do is I'll get a hold of Public Works tomorrow and ask them to go out and take an inventory of the situation on there. This way they can inform the county that these big trees need to be taken care of. The county is very reluctant about cutting any trees unless they're absolutely dead. So we'll reach out that, as far as lighting or anything in that situation, we do have to reach out to Lennox and the electric and see what they can do about increasing the lighting in your area.
and don't forget that wire that's hanging down from the telephone pole, from one of those poles.
Yeah,
That's-
utilities.
Yeah, unfortunately, since AT&T does no longer do phone line service, they have left their lines hanging around.
Yeah,
You
that's
actually
crazy.
have to call them and make
Yeah.
a big argument with them to get them to take
They
it
don't
down.
come.
They're
I mean,
right
and you
outside my
got
house,
kids
too.
though, but what do you do when they don't come? Because you got children out there.
They're dead wires, there's nothing in them, and that's what they tell you,
Well,
to
that's
get them when they
good.
get them, and that's what I've been told.
No, they're not.
I'm
The
sorry.
fire company even called one time for me because something was hanging down there, and they never showed up. I had to find the CEO's number.
We were all kids, and you know how curious kids
I
are.
know.
That's all I have to say with that lake and the wires, and it's just crazy. And people would, and I love animals, I love all animals, walk around with the dogs running around like they paying rent, because they're not on lease. You know, I'm like, I want to say, what apartment do you live in now, man? Because they, big dog, little dog. I'm just saying sanitation is gone.
I'm sorry. Does anyone else?
And
You want to
Trevor,
any other questions?
Yeah.
Trevor, as far as the dog park goes, the advertisement, we haven't done no advertising yet because we're technically not complete. And once it's complete, we will be advertising it and having a grand opening of the dog park, which, when everything's done, that's when that will happen. I know you advertising it already, but it's not complete over there yet, and that's why we haven't done anything.
You've announced it at 2 different meetings, and we thank you.
I announced that it was being done,
And we
that we
appreciate
were
that.
working on it, but was just keeping people updated as to what was happening. And it's not complete yet, and that's why there's no talking about it being opened yet. And yeah, we're going to do on Arbor Day, we're doing a ribbon cutting down there. We're waiting for the signs to come in. We have signs that are going to be installed at the entrance. We're waiting for other things to be done. That's why it hasn't been advertised.
Can I just give maybe some information or something that might help about where the corner of Oak and Gibbsboro?
Yes.
Unfortunately, once you have the time.
Yeah.
You can't
So,
talk
I'm
about
coming
it.
down,
I'm
I'm coming down, I'm coming down. I'll talk to
Okay,
you.
great.
Yeah, I'm coming down.
Ms. Roxanne?
Yes.
That's your name, right? You had a question about ordinance 2023-05, the COLA ordinance. COLA stands for the cost of living cap adjustment. So the New Jersey cap law allows a municipality by ordinance to increase the cap percentage up to 3.5% or to bank it up for 2 years. The difference between the final appropriation subject to the cap and 3.5%. So it's really not going to impact the budget at all. It's just that statute just allows us to be able to go up to 3.5% to bank it in the event we need it within the next 2 years or so. So the budget will be adopted on April the 12th, and at the meeting on, I believe, May the 10th, is that the date? May the 10th will be the public hearing, where I actually do a full budget presentation. And at that time, if there's any questions with regards to the budget, they could be addressed then.
And that meeting is here?
It will be here, yes, and it will be advertised as to when the public hearing will be and the time.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
And we do, and just so you know, we do that every year. We always do the COLA ordinance every year before a budget is introduced because it's required. And it's not automatic that the state allows you to bank anything. You have to do the COLA ordinance. So almost every community does it. Whether you need it or not, it's better to go ahead and do it.
And you don't necessarily use it.
Right. Unless we really have to use it, it just allows for you to have a bank for adjustments and exceptions, because the state does allow certain exceptions depending on, you know, what the appropriations are, and if they're over a certain amount, the state will allow for exceptions. And the cap or the COLA ordinances is one of those that they allow for.
Is that it? Thank you. At this time, I entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?